Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday evening jam session. As collaborative teams, we're so excited that you all could be on. I know a lot of people will catch the replay on this as well. So we are talking about going Fast Start Gold and Senior Gold tonight. We have two special guests with us. New Fast Start Senior Golds, Brooke Slater and Laura Koblentz. Brooke went Fast Start Senior Gold in February, and Laura did it in March. So I'm really excited for what they're going to share with you guys tonight. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves. We didn't actually talk about who's going first. Actually, Brooke, why don't you go first, since technically you went Senior Gold first. But why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and also why you started Plexus and what made you think of doing the business right off the bat? Like, I always love to hear people's stories in light of that. So you can take it away.
Unmute myself. Okay, I'm unmuted. Hey, everybody. I am Brooke, and I live in Southern Illinois, Mount Carmel, actually, and I'm a homeschooling mama. I have three boys, 16, 14, and 12. And I was a prior to trauma nurse for several years. My husband practices sports medicine here in Mount Carmel, but I stay home now and homeschool the boys. So that's just a little bit about me. I started Plexus because my husband and I were actually both just looking for a way to really help people be well, because we were realizing over the last several years that modern medicine just isn't always super effective with root healing. And so we were looking really for an alternative, for a way to help people. And so that was why we started. And so really, we started really for the business. I didn't know what that was going to look like or what that entailed. I just reached out to Megan and I was like, there's so many people that need help. What do we do? How do I do this? And so that was really how it got started. I didn't have like this big business goal in my mind or anything. It was more of just, how can we help people be well from the roots? How can we help people heal, and what can we do to help them? So that was why I got started. And Megan basically just told me what to do. And I did a lot of like three-way messages with her, and she told me to go live and start posting and all that. And I guess I told her I wasn't going to post when she first said something. And I was like, nah, I don't know. So I don't really know. It kind of just evolved, but it evolved very quickly. And I kind of caught the vision for what that could be. And so I just started diving into the materials and trainings and YouTubes, and I'd always have an AirPod in and listen to things and just try to just soak it all in.
Awesome. Okay, Laura, why don't you unmute and tell us a little bit of your story, and then we'll chit chat about that.
So, I have been a nurse for 14 years and did labor and delivery, NICU, postpartum, PACU, a little bit of everything. But part of my story is that my last job in the hospital setting before I moved back to Illinois was a supervisor over telehealth program, and just saw how much we were just throwing medication at people over and over. And my heart had been a lot of natural things. I also homeschooled. I have 7 children. I homeschooled. I'm an empty nester. I'm 50 years old, so I'm grandma now, and in a different stage of life. So I just was, having hand pain that was preventing me from working in the hospital setting on the floor. I was wearing hand braces for 2.5 years. And honestly, I was curious. I had done Plexus a couple of times before in my lifetime. I was just like most of the clients that we see that just try it and kind of half take it, and then kind of like, oh, I don't really notice that much difference. I mean, I didn't really have anything wrong with me, right? I was in my 30s, maybe my 40s, and I didn't have a lot wrong with me. So I was not consistent at all back then. but I knew they were good products. And actually, Megan had come to me before she started Plexus and said to me, "Hey, do you know much about Plexus?" Which really is awful when you think about it now. Like, but I'm glad I gave her good reviews. I said, "Yeah, great products and things. I mean, like, I don't know anything wrong with it and everything," but I was no longer doing Plexus. So she ended up signing up. And so fast forward years later, I'm in a crisis where my hands are in such pain that I can't open jars. It hurts to pull up my pants. I couldn't do basic things. I would drop things and break them all the time because my hands were in so much pain. And the surgeon actually had gotten to the point of saying the only thing that could fix your hands is surgery. We have to take out a bone, use a tendon, take a tendon, put it in there. And I'd been watching on the sidelines of seeing posts that Megan made. And we were actually talking about something with her mom. And she said, "Hey, why don't you come to my house? I'm doing a sip and see and everything." And I just thought maybe this is an answer for some extra money. I have a wellness clinic, but it just wasn't taking off yet. It takes time to build. And so in the back of my head, I knew that they had a good business plan, but I didn't have a plan. I just kind of kept feeling that little tug of God saying, "Hey, go check this out." Well, then I heard the testimonies about pain being under control with somebody's knee. They didn't have to have surgery because they were taking certain products. And I was just like, I'm all in. I just have to find out if this is going to work. Within a week, I was able to have my pain under control. From like a 6 to 9 down to a 1 to 3. Within a couple of weeks, I was able to ditch the braces. I was able to cancel surgery and I was able to return back to doing a lot of things I couldn't do before. So it was just natural to start sharing that. And the way I started sharing it was exactly just following Brooke. I met her at the event and I heard her story about how as a medical professional that she went Fast Start Gold, and she was such an inspiration to me that I was able to kind of listen and say, what did Brooke do? Okay, so she just did everything Megan told her to do. And that's really the next step. And I think Megan will ask a question that'll kind of entail more of what those steps were.
Yes. Okay. So I was furiously taking notes as you guys were chatting because there were some significant things they said about, why they started and some tangible things that we did, right, to get them started fast and get them started strong. And so when people, and this is something that Carissa brought up because I said, "Oh, how to go fast start senior gold. This is how you're going to learn on this call tonight." Some of you are past that window and that's totally fine, but you need to understand that you are now going to start teaching people and training people on how to fast start silver, how to fast start senior silver, how to fast start gold and senior gold and ruby and beyond, right? And so be taking notes on what they're saying and what they did. And I'll highlight a couple of things also that I was very intentional on, because from the outside looking in, or even maybe from their perspective, maybe it felt very organic and things just kind of evolved. But I was very cognizant of where we were at in the system. Okay. And I tell people, I feel more confident now than ever to help someone go fast start silver, senior silver, or gold or beyond, because there's a system for it. And I never had a system previously. I mean, maybe I did, but I feel more confident in what that is. Okay, so if you've heard me teacher train on the PLP system before, that's exactly what I did with them. Okay, it is very simple. But before I mention that, I want to talk about really quick when they both came to me and said, "I'm in." Like they communicated to me, "I'm in for the business." That is a signal to you that you are going to get in the car and help and drive with them. Okay, this is not just, "Oh, I'll throw them a video." This is, you are the system. Okay, and this is what I have found to be the most effective. As much as I would maybe like to just plug people into something and then they take off and roll with it, which people totally do, and obviously they have very much taken the ball and run with it. I haven't been telling them every single thing to do, but in the first couple of weeks, that is especially important to capitalize on people that come into your business for the business. And I think all of us need to be a little more intentional about being aware and having clarity on what people are most interested in. When you have wholesaler people start for the products, you also need to be asking the question to find out if they're at all interested in the opportunity side. My sponsor did not ask me that. And I don't think we were in a season or space in Plexus where that was really taught or that was the system. And honestly, if she would have told me like, or asked me if I was open to it, if I was at all intrigued or interested in it, I would have said yeah. And I think I would have ranked up quicker. But I was just kind of, in my own little bubble, binge listening to product informational videos. And then would kind of, as you binge listen, there's, business training videos that pop up also. And so I was kind of inoculating myself with all this goodness. And so it really shifted and influenced my thinking to take action. But I would encourage you now to learn from what I bumbled along and didn't do in my first couple of years of Plexus. All my OG runners can testify to the fact that I did not do this with them. But my newer runners are more aware of the system that we help people work through. So when Brooke said that she would, she just reached out kind of like, I'm open to this Plexus thing, tell me more. And I can't remember exactly what that first little reach out message was that she sent to me, but I caught the little information that she was open to the business. And so what I did was immediately move to a phone conversation. And I was driving to Arthur to a soccer game and we chatted the whole way there. And what I don't have a formula for like a phone conversation, but you guys have to just let whoever you're chatting with, you need to let them talk. Because I was actually very interested in why she was curious about it, what was triggering her to contact me. Okay. And so we chatted probably for a good 45-ish minutes. And I moved to a phone conversation right away. And then we got her signed up, because my thought was, well, let's at least get you started on the products and experiencing what those can be for you. And they were people that didn't have massive health issues to begin with. So I think they were a little bit like, well, what are we going to see, right? They did a reset, welcome pack. Karsten used the reset, Brooke used the triplex, and they both started to see some wins. So help your people when they first start see some wins with their product usage, just by consistency and following up and encouraging them to, stay consistent, that kind of thing. And then we right away, we were getting ready to go to Hawaii, I think, or I was, and it was, scheduling craziness between their schedules and sports and all the things. But we ended up figuring out a time to meet ASAP, which was halfway point because we're about 2 hours apart in proximity. And so we met up for breakfast in person. And so if you can get in person with people that want to do this business, it will save you so much time. It'll speed up the process so much quicker. And so very soon after Brooke started, I had her make a post. And that is my go-to, is make a post quickly. And she did it. She was, even though she had communicated, I think that a couple of days before, maybe it was a fear. I don't know if she outright told me I'm not going to post, but it was a little bit like, I don't know about posting. And so I didn't take that as the final say. I said, okay, today we're going to make a post. Okay. And she went and did it. I don't think I even said what to say. You just went and made a post. So, and then what we did from there was get events scheduled in person and online. Did we do an online one first or in person? I think we had trouble scheduling one of those.
We did an online messenger event. Remember, it was horrible. Not because of you, my people, they were just like hitting the video button and it was just like, nobody knew. It was fine. Like I got the gist of what was supposed to be happening, but my people didn't. Yeah, but then we did. It wasn't horrible. I shouldn't say that. It was just like, I don't know what I'm doing and neither does anybody else. But then we did an in-person one, like real soon after that. And then we did another online messenger that was a little more, I guess, organized. I don't know. There's always that one person that clicks the video button, right? Yes. And then it just went downhill from there. So funny. But you know what? It's okay. We do it imperfectly, right? But yeah. Online event, then we did it in person, and then we did it online. And the reason, timing wise, that's just what worked out. Typically, we like to do in person and then funnel everyone into an online one. And so take notes on this, okay? That was kind of the system we worked through with Brooke, getting her off to a strong start. And she said to me, oh my word, there's so many people that didn't come to my in-person event that were supposed to come or whatever. And I think there was 4 couples that came. And she had 100% sign up rate, which Justin totally highlighted that, because often sip and sees, you may invite however many and then expect probably
I don't know, 7 to 10 to say yes. And then about half of those people come to actually show up, which is why I always encourage an online event afterwards to funnel people into. Okay, so this is the PLP system, post live party. Now, Brooke, we didn't end up doing a live. I don't remember why, but I think we ended up doing lives inside of your events, the little 15-minute messenger event, and then the online group event that we did. And so the other thing, so with Brooke, with Laura, she came to Momentum Meetup in November. And like she said, it was very valuable that she heard other people's stories, and she met Brooke. And then they kind of just tag teamed, and she kind of was watching and asking Laura or asking Brooke what she was doing. And so it was really interesting how sometimes those connections or just the third party validation from even product testimonials is huge. And one thing I will say is, when she was at my house for Momentum Meetup, one, I was shocked she came, and two, I was almost even more shocked that she signed up, that she got started. But it was just one of those conversations that just kept flowing, and I wasn't afraid to actually just ask her if she was ready to get started. And it was just one of those God moments, really, that it ended up being the perfect timing. And we ended up, she communicated that she was all in, not just for the products, but also for the business. So I was like pretty quickly saying, hey, well, let's make a post. And she made a post like very quickly. I don't even know that your products had come yet. And then we did an online event ASAP. And she told me, because I said, well, you're local to me, so I always offered to host in-person events for local people. And she's like, well, I'm just moved back to this area, and I think I'd be more effective online because I have a wide circle of people. And so that's what we did. And guess what? I think we signed 12 people from that event. She went senior silver. She had a couple people go silver, and she signed about 12 people that month. And then she went after gold the next month. Am I remembering that correctly?
I think so. I don't know. It's all a blur.
But that's why it's good to actually do a little bit of reflection on like what actually happened. What did we do? What were some of the thoughts that we were thinking? And so I wanted to pop back and ask another question, which is, have you had any fears or obstacles, and what are those? Brooke, you want to go first?
Well, Megan knows all about this. She knows my fears. I will be real. Like, it has been a total mind game for me. Working on my mindset has been key. And it's mostly, but it's waxed and waned as far as what those fears were, what those obstacles were. But, it probably started off with more of like, what are people going to think? I think it was more about building my belief in the products. I wanted people to be pleased, and I wanted people to be happy with their products. And so I didn't want my reputation, or it was the fear of letting people down or them just not feeling better. And because that's what I really wanted for them. And so those were kind of the fears. And then I don't know, I do feel like some of it's a blur too, because I have talked to Megan a lot about this, but mainly learning how to take a lot of the emotion out of it about when somebody shuts off their sub or someone signs up, and this up and down roller coaster I really had to work on taking those thoughts captive. I guess those were my fears at the beginning, but just, relying on the fact, like, it's not this is a marathon. It's not a race. It's not this. This is for the long haul. I think I'm a type A, very much overachiever. And when things don't happen quickly for me or easily, then that messes with my mindset. So I guess those are some of the obstacles. And then I guess my biggest obstacle now is finding business builders. I don't have a lot of people sharing right now or the desire to. So I'm just praying and waiting and just, resting in the fact that it will happen when it's supposed to happen, but then doing the work that I'm supposed to do. So I don't know. Did that answer the question?
That was great. And Carissa piped up and said, you both also invested in Gold School. Do you want to make a little plug for how that helped?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was fun. It was neat to see, all the people that were there were really just in the same spot we were. And they all had different stories, but we were all in the same boat. And then the training was good too. And just getting together with other like-minded people, it's just encouraging. And, hearing, I always want to say Genevieve, but Genevieve, how like some of her tips, like you're just moving people from one seat to the next seat to the next seat in these conversations. It doesn't just happen all at once. There's some people are ready to start right away, but most people need to have multiple conversations. And because I always think like, why is this so hard for people to decide? Just sign up. What's the big deal? But Gold School was super fun.
Yes. So guys, get to Gold School, encourage it on your teams, vision cast for that. And you get to go every time you have someone go gold or senior gold. So you as the sponsor get to go again, which is really great because you get to rehear all of that good stuff. And I think it's significant to really be thinking about the long game. And oopsie, don't forget to mute, guys. The long game will help us stay invested even when we feel like we don't see fruit for the work that we're doing. And this business does have seasons where sometimes it feels like nothing's happening, but get ready because that's when everything starts to happen, when you start to feel that. And it is a process. And like Justin has said before, like it takes a lot of conversations and people are at different stages in those conversations. So Laura, we would love for you to share what have been your obstacles or fears that you've had to overcome or deal with.
I think because I'm older, and I've done a lot of different businesses and stuff, I haven't really dealt with any fears. I think just submitting my business to the Lord completely. Like this month, for instance, last month, I think I don't know, 375 points or something. It's crazy. I remember how much I've added in 2 months, maybe like 50 people in 2 months or something. And it went so fast that my obstacle is keeping up. These mostly are Amish clients, and I'm going in person, place to place with my other Amish clients. So helping them go senior, silver, and helping them move forward. So my obstacle has been more like, how do I keep up? I have to make emails for all of them. I have to help them order and all these things. So just trying to find my process. And now, one of the obstacles is, people don't necessarily listen. As we all know, we get frustrated in business because, wait, I told them to call me at day 4 and we were going to change this. And I missed that they didn't call me on day 4. And now this person is quitting for this reason. This person is quitting for that reason. And I think we have to make sure that we keep a positive mindset of like, thank you, God, for the people that were with me for whatever time they were with me. I believe that they'll return. I'm not going to stress about it. I can't control any of it. I do the best I can, bring my best part forward, see where I've screwed up. I have not been as good at follow up. And now Megan's helped me get a process. I'm going to sit down and do things differently because you have to stop and learn and grow. And so that was one of my weak areas. But I don't really have the fears because I just am at this place of, if you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I'm not worried about rejection from it. I'm not worried about some of those things. And I do think that's something that comes in time and age and just, a lot of life experiences of having done other businesses. So as a holistic health practitioner, I'm recommending that my clients take these certain supplements. And I feel very strongly that these are the best supplements. And so I do get frustrated when they're not following and they're like, oh, that wasn't working for me. And they're piling up. So could you cancel? And I'm like, if you're taking them, they wouldn't be piling up. And if you're taking them, they would be effective. So, it's really more the frustrations more than the fears, but definitely real frustrations. And just having to say, okay, Lord, it is still in your hands. You build this business. And also realizing the fact that we're doing this book on how heaven invades our finances, we're going to have pushback. We're going to have spiritual warfare, but we still have to own the mountain. You own the mountain and you say, you know what, this is still my mountain to conquer. So throw what you want at me, bring me some, things that you think are going to take me down. But my mindset is still, I will succeed. And so I thank God on a regular. Thank you, God, for my strong diamond team. I thank you that we are moving forward. I thank you that you are prospering everything I put my hand to. And you just cannot let those things that come at you, hey, cancel me, hey, cancel me. Don't let it shake you.
So agree. Ah, so good. And it's interesting too, because this is such a filtering process, and we have to be okay with the fact that there's going to be water running into the bathtub and also trickling out. And so not 100% of people, even with the best follow-up, even with the best processes, are not going to always stick with us. And we have to be okay with that, but also knowing they'll be back. That's a thought that I practice and that I believe is that they'll be back. And so, Laura, this actually goes along with what you were sharing. Because you have done a lot of network marketing businesses, which you actually expressed that concern to me when you signed up. You're like, oh my word, I've been in I don't even know, 30 different network marketing businesses. And I'm like, that's the best ever. You have experience. You have practical knowledge of this industry. And so it was really interesting because she was willing to do anything that I asked of her and actually 10x it. And she wasn't afraid to do the things. And so it's interesting when you guys have people restart, often a lot of them will do the business because there's belief there. Also, if you have people that have been in previous network marketing companies, do not be afraid to put the pedal to the metal if they're open, if they're willing and continuing to come back to you for the next little homework assignment. And so when we did our little online event, I said, hey, well, minimum you need to reach out to 20 people. Let's get 10 yeses at least for your event. Guess what she did? Tell them what you did, Laura, because if someone asked, how many invites did you send for your online event in order to get 12 signups?
I forget, but wasn't it I don't know. I'm thinking it was 100. 200 people, right?
Yeah.
And it was, I'm like, was it 100 or 200? But it was a lie because I just thought, you know what? If I want to be successful, I have to put myself out there and it's all or nothing. Guys, if you fail because you tried small, because you were afraid to fail, then you're probably going to fall on your face. But if you try big, even if you succeed this much, you're succeeding. You know what I'm saying? So, go big or go home, do it.
Mm-hmm. And I think this was a theme of what happened with the event that we did together, was that we threw the net wide. I think I even said that because you had never made a Facebook story before, but I'm like, do a story and put a poll with it. And you went and did it.
I said, how that? I don't know how to do this. I'm literally the most challenged. Half of the Zooms that we've tried to do, I couldn't figure out how to put my camera on. I couldn't figure out I am not techie. So Megan had to walk me through, teach me how to make a story, how to do a lot. How do I do it? I don't know.
I think actually thinking about this now, the two things that you were a little concerned about was your technical savviness and then the fact that you've been in network marketing before. I'm like, two easy peasy things to overcome. It's figure outable. If I can figure it out, you can figure it out. So, okay. Awesome. Alrighty. So we kind of discussed how you went Fast Start Gold. Is there anything else that you'd like to throw on there? Tangibly what you did? Laura, since you're up, you can just keep talking.
Sure. Being consistent with the products myself, making sure that I was being my own best customer is number one. I've experimented and tried all the different, a majority of the products I have tried, at least maybe I couldn't afford more than a certain number that month. So I did the triplex and then I had the X Factor. Okay. And then maybe I could add balance, but I'm only going to do it for a month, or MetaBurn, but only for a month because I wanted to switch and try something else. So I've been trying to experience them. I've been trying to learn them, just trying to grow in my own product knowledge. And then of course, having to try to learn how to balance the business side of it and how to do those things, reach out. How do I do this? How do I follow up? What's the best way to reach out to this population of people? And so I think it's just constant personal growth. I'm involved in the book study right now. So making sure that you're plugging in. Brooke and I have had multiple conversations. We're both under Megan, but we are not in each other's line. But we have created a kinship and a friendship, encouraging each other, so that when somebody drops out, I'm like, oh, you know what? Gideon had a lot of people dropping out. That doesn't matter. You know, he was still successful. So we build each other up. We encourage each other. So you need to form those friendships that will encourage you when you're having a down day, because we all have them, but it's all about shifting. Megan taught me pivot. And so that's been powerful for me. So doing the work it takes for your mind and your spirit, and then the practical things.
Brooke, how about you?
I think probably the most tangible things was just, well, one thing I did is after I did my first sip and see with Megan and Justin, I kept having them every month. So I didn't always do them online, but I kept having them. So, you know, I know that's it's local people, obviously, but there was lots of people that couldn't come to the first one and the second one and the third one. And I would just keep re-inviting people, and I'd always have a handful of people come. And then, I mean, but I had one or maybe even two that no one showed up to. So, but I kept doing that. And then even, I think the last couple, I think I did by myself. So, they're always a little nerve wracking, I think, especially when I was by myself, but I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just going to do it anyway. And then Cassie, you had a question. I think she said something in the chat about what Gold School was. Gold School, you earn Gold School when you hit gold, or if you sponsor a gold. So they're all over the United States. There's how many a year? 4 or so. They're quarterly. So there'll be one that'll pop up, you know, near you. And we went to California this time, so that was fun.
Very good. Well, we need to wrap this up. Our final question is just, what has the financial blessing been for your family? Brooke, you can go first. If you're willing to share how much approximately you've made to date, I think that would be really cool and encouraging if you're going for sharing something so personal.
I think I have made, the December one helped. Was it the one where it was cash? Whichever one what the incentive was, Christmas cash. I think it's somewhere between 6,000 and 7,000 ish since September. And then my first paycheck, actually more than my first paycheck, we happened to go to a crisis pregnancy center dinner. And then my husband was like, I think we need to give this amount. So that was where my first paycheck or two went, actually. We gave to that. And then after that, well, we went on a big anniversary trip to St. John. So yeah, paid for that.
Very cool. Laura, how about you?
I didn't think about adding them up, but I know that my first month was $1,600. And that was just crazy to me. And then I think it was, as of last month, it was like 4,400. And I think it was this month, another like maybe 16 this month. I don't know. It was like 14 or 16 for the past month. So we're close to, you know, around 6,000 as well.
And has the financial part of that been helpful to you as you were like getting your holistic health practice off the ground and all of that?
Yes. So in my holistic health practice, I had taken all my savings and opened up my own wellness center. But I wasn't getting very many clients, and I was honestly struggling. And so after I signed up with Megan, I was embarrassed to even say this. I couldn't work at the hospital because my hands were in braces. I was trying everything to make money through my wellness, and it just wasn't going as well as I wanted it to. So after I signed up with Megan, this is so embarrassing, but I'm just going to be transparent. I had literally $5 left in my checking account. I think I had $200 left in my business account, and I did not know how I was going to make it to the next month. But I stepped out in faith, and I made $1,600, and my hands got healed. I was able to go back to work as a nurse, making significant money part-time while I'm still building my Plexus business. It was amazing. So it has totally transformed not only my health, my ability to make money outside of Plexus, and my ability to make money inside of Plexus. So it's been amazing.
There you go, guys. Okay. Thank you, girls, for sharing. This was amazing. I hope all of you on the call tonight are inspired and encouraged and just feel like just that expectancy for not only for your own business, but as you help others rank up in this business, as you vision cast for them. I mean, what could an extra 5, 6, 7 grand be for you in your life, in your home in the next 6 months? Or what can it be, and or what can it be for someone that you maybe have yet to introduce this opportunity to? So I want to wrap up just by saying thank you, Laura. Thank you, Brooke, for sharing everything that you shared. If you want to know more about the PLP system, we will get that posted for you guys in the chat thread, so you can just review that little system that we are utilizing. Look up some information about Gold School so that you can be well versed in what that is and how to earn it. And also, for those of you who are in your Fast Start window, there is a timeline actually on your dashboard in your back office. So make sure that you check that out. You can also look in the Help Center and talk to your sponsor about those details. So we're going to wrap it up.
Quick plug. Thursday night, we have a Real Income, Real Impact Testimonies event, and it is business testimonies. So if you're not in the Real Income, Real Impact group, get added and start inviting boldly. I mean, I'm so convicted by what Laura just shared, because she had $205 to her name, and she took such a step of faith to purchase these products and go all in sharing, and it turned her entire income streams around. That's the kind of boldness, that's the kind of blessing we need to realize we're bringing to people. We can't believe that we're bothering people and blessing them. We have to pick one. You can't really operate with a foot on both sides of that fence. So choose to believe that you're bringing something to someone like Laura. Thursday night, some of us will be on the retreat, but many of us will not. So that's a 30-minute prime opportunity to get people in front of very poignant, impactful business testimonies. So be doing those boldy coldies, bold
Yes.
business reach outs.
For those of you who are communicating that you need business builders on your team, this is a perfect opportunity. And before we pop off, please take a quick selfie, because we all need to be showcasing what we do with Plexus. So take a quick minute, smile, and take a quick picture, or a whatever you want to do. Did everyone get it real quick? We are marketers, and so we need to be boldly showing up in our stories, on our Facebook walls, and showing what this opportunity is. And it's not like, obviously you heard their stories, but the fact that we have fun, that we are in a growth-minded community with people, I mean, we have community and connection, that'll preach. That will attract people to you as you're showcasing little vignettes of what this opportunity is and what you love about it. All right, everyone get theirs? Okie doke. All right, see you guys. Thanks for sharing.